Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and today we're going to be going over another game over here. And this one, we're going to be going over the Tata Steel game, a beautiful game versus Anish versus Gukesh. And well, on a game I like to call Good Night. All right, here we go. We start off with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5, knight c3. Looks like we go ahead and transpose into a Queen's Gambit decline. And now bishop b4. Here we go. We got an opening I'm really interested in learning more about, Ragozin defense. And, well, this one's very aggressive. It's almost like playing a Nimzo Indian, except, well, here the pawn structure is just a little bit different, and d5 has been played right away. Well, here we go. Bishop g5 got played, definitely in the spirit of a Queen's Gambit, declined. Pawn h6 and bishop takes f6. A really cool move here I've seen get played by a lot of players. It's almost like a reverse Nimzo Indian, because here, well, white's going to be giving up the bishop so we can get good control over this e5 square. So after queen takes on f6, by the way, this queen is a little bit misplaced here. We're going to get some good tempos off this lady. We've got a very solid structure here for white. This bishop's over here looking pretty interesting, but again, white has very good development here and actually is going to get a very nice attacking game, mostly just because this misplaced queen over here. And now we keep continuing. Pawn to e3. We need to get this bishop out so we can castle. Castles happens over here. Rook to c1, keeping up with development. D takes on c4. This is the mainline theory. It may seem weird to go ahead and take here right away, but it's kind of hard to find something better in this kind of situation. Other moves that have been tried here are moves like something like pawn to c6. But after this, I think white's just very happy with a very good space advantage. Sometimes they even play something like pawn c5 here. With that being said, well, the main move here for black to play is d takes c4, so it goes ahead and gets played. Bishop takes c4 right on the dot, and then pawn to c5 here, striking at the center. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and castle. C takes on d4, and then knight to e4, a nice little in-between move. All right, well, as I mentioned, this was going to be bad for black because the queen's out a little too early. Here, white's already castled and is now starting to push forward in this position. Black goes ahead and plays queen e7. You have to be careful here. You can't go after this knight, as most variations are just going to get you in trouble. For instance, something like queen f5, you lose your tempo right away with knight to g3, and we're going to be taking on d4 here. Here this has been played, and white already has a winning percentage in this line. Going back to this queen e7, here white goes ahead and plays. Pawn to a3, a nice little Inter Samoa, or in between move. Bishop to a5, and here e takes on d4. A nice move here that many people would not consider. Why? Well, people are very scared when it comes to having an isolated pawn, a pawn that has no pawn next to it. With that being said, white here has a good lead in development, and you need to go where your position takes you, right? You have to win where you have the advantage. Right now, white has a good advantage with development, and here attacking chances are going to be best for them. If you play something like, let's say, queen takes on d4 or knight takes on d4, well, it's going to be less central space here. You know, there's free moves here like knight c6, rook d8. Here, there is no good advantage here for white, and this is definitely going to be helping out black in this situation. With the pawn structure symmetrical, it's really hard to play for wins. Remember, to create winning chances, you need to create an imbalance in the position. And it can be as simple as something like e takes d4, giving you an isolated pawn or a different pawn structure. All right, here we go. Rook to d8 got played. Good move here. You know, just developing the piece and also putting pressure on the d4 pawn. As I mentioned, this is isolated pawn. So here, white is going for the kingside attack because, well, if they go to endgame, this pawn will be weak. And black is going to try and make as much trades as possible and hopefully get to a winning endgame. All right, here we go. Rook c2, a very ominous rook move over here. What's the plan? Well, I think the rook does very good by maybe sliding over here. Maybe even rook to d2 in some lines, assuming we play pawn to b4 first, of course. Black going ahead and play bishop d7. Play knight c6 is a move here. I can't say I like this move too much. Yeah, with the bishop knight to c6, it does put pressure on the d4 pawn right away. But one of the things I will say I do like about this whole bishop d7 is it does come with a little threat. Maybe something like bishop to a4, or maybe even bishop to c6 here, putting pressure along this diagonal. All right, white went ahead and played rook to e2, bishop to c6, continuing with this plan, and here queen to c2 here. White's pieces are all looking very good, and all placed on the white squares. I kind of like this idea. Bishop to b6 gets played, again putting pressure on the d4 pawn. And, well, rook f to e1 gets played. And king h8, which turns out to be a terrible move here. And, well, just losing. Here the rooks are really nicely placed on the open e-file over here. Semi-open e-file, sorry. And well, it's going to be white to move and create a very strong attack. If you want to, I will go ahead and encourage you to play, to go ahead and try to guess this move. Go ahead and push pause now if you want to. All right, hopefully you push pause. We'll be trying to figure this out. This is a beautiful idea by Giri. Oh my gosh, here we go. Here we go. We start with this beautiful move of knight to g5, and it turns out it is just not working here for black to go ahead and defend this checkmating idea. Any way that you really try to stop this, it's just going to go bad. In the main game, we're going to see him play h takes g5, so let's take a look at a few other ideas that we can do to try and stop this. Well, can we play something like pawn to g6? Well, this is all but what white wants here. When you look at the pieces, you'll see that the light squares of these pawns are just being attacked by all your little pieces. Whenever you see this happening in your chess games, look for sacrifices. And with the queen side asleep over here, well, it's not going to take long for you to break through. Knight takes on f7 check. Queen takes on f7. Oof, look at this move. Knight to e5 here, attacking the queen, attacking the pawn over here. Again, queen has to move. It doesn't really matter where she moves. Queen f5 over here. Knight takes on g6 check. And here, king to g7. And here, well, oh my gosh. Could you believe it or not? It's white to move in checkmate. And it starts off with queen takes on f5 over here. E takes on f5. Rook to e7 check. King takes g7. Rook 1 to e6 check. King is going to go up here. And I guess it's not too hard to figure out that, yeah, this is definitely a checkmate in this position. With black just trying to give up pieces here to stop the checkmate. Oof. Look how beautiful this idea is. And here, g3 check. King takes with rook to e3 for mate. Oof. And all the variations like this. Remember, whenever you're going over these positions, look for different ways. And you can guess that, f5 is just as bad here with rook takes e6 this time starting off. Because, again, these light squares are just too weak. With that being said, in the game, h takes g5 got played. And here, of course, we'd love to play knight takes g5 right here, right away. But here the queen is defending. And that's the whole idea. Let's kick the queen from defending. And after knight takes g5, again, this checkmate is just so strong here. Gukesh's position is just going to fall apart. So here, rook takes e6, another beautiful idea here. Again, very simple idea. We're trying to kick the queen away from defending on g5. Pawn takes, rook takes. And here, there's nothing better than just sacrificing your queen. If you try to move your queen somewhere, let's just say to f8, and after knight takes g5, there's just no good way to defend this checkmate. Here, you're going to have to give up some material, and, well, even if you do try to give up material, you're going to be getting checkmated here pretty easily. Here, computers are already saying, just play bishop, queen takes on f2 check, just try to stay alive in this position, because, again, there's no good way to defend against this checkmate. Queen h5 check, and if king to g7, queen h6 is just checkmated 1. So here, nothing better to do. Queen takes on e6, and now Giri does a very good job on just going ahead and making this a full point win. Bishop takes e6, bishop takes, queen f5 here, beautiful technique. Here we already have what's called the Greco checkmate pattern, with the queen's just trying to get to the h file here, since you notice that, well, the king can't go to g8, so he can't move around at all. Bishop e4, trying to deflect. Queen takes on e4, rook takes d4. I mean, at this point, there really was no good moves to play here, so it's just a game here. Queen to f3, not only guarding the checkmate square, but again looking to go queen to h5 for checkmate, not h3, as the rook can just guard over here. Black went ahead and played g4 to try and block it. Queen f8 check, king h7, bishop f5 check, king to h8, bishop c2. And here, well, black just goes ahead and throws in the towel. This must have been very discouraging. I mean, you just got to your game, and then your opponent does this beautiful double sacrifice here with the rook, then a knight and then a rook, and well, just crushes through you. And again, there's just no good way to play in these kind of positions. It's very tough. You can't even bring your knight out right away since this rook is going to be hanging. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this game. We'll see you in the next video.